So another little bit that I worked on today for the cod piece was getting the little hooks in here for the suspenders. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how this will go, but we'll find out right now and see how well they do. So when you use the suspenders, you want to actually have them inside out, so that way when you have a little when you use the little clip here, the furthest flat side will go to the outside, so that way you can easily fit that in more. So we'll do that. And as I mentioned in a previous video, what I did for the hooks here is I just took like a piece of coat hanger, cut it up, and then just bent it so it has something I can grab onto. I couldn't do a flat piece of plastic like some people do because these suspenders have teeth and they just weren't holding very well. So yeah, I might have to reinforce these. I just put regular CA glue on the tips to hold them, but I might have to reinforce them with epoxy just so they can take more strain on wear and tear. So we'll just put these in. Okay, so so far they seem to be working okay. I just did that wrong. But my concern is I don't know if I need to have these clamps like stationary in one place, or if they are going to be sliding around, if that's going to be okay, or if they absolutely need to be held still or so. Like if that's the issue, then maybe I'll do something to kind of hold them in place. There is a little bit of a rise in the middle there, so they should find like kind of a way to rest. But anyway, so that's that. Let's see. Another thing that I was doing today that goes with the cod piece is working on the ammo boxes. Let's see. So as you can see, I did all of the black paint first today. I was using a Krylon Color Master paint and primer. I used the matte black. When I was in the store, I saw one that was flat and one that was matte, and I just kind of went with this one just because I didn't know which one to pick. But I really like how these turned out. Like they're not too shiny, but they're also not too just, you know, matte anyway, or flat, I guess I should say. So I did like this one. So what I'm going to do now, I couldn't find any particular photos on where these were, but I did find one where it looked like these are on the back of the cod piece here, just like an additional ammo box in the back, I guess. So that's where I'll be putting them. When I attach them, I'll just be screwing in, like I did with these smaller white ones, just putting in some screws to attach it. That way, if I need to remove it, I can just unscrew it. For these ones, I just put the screws in on the front here. That way I can just like unscrew those and take this box off. I do notice that some ARC Troopers have their boxes in a different arrangement. Like some of them have the middle-sized ones in front and the smaller ones here, but that just depends on your character, I suppose. Yeah, so there are different arrangements, but anyway. A little tip though, like I think if you are going to spray paint these things, I recommend you do the back first, and then when you flip it over to on the front, just because like I spray painted mine first, and when I set it down, I guess the surface wasn't all that clean because I picked up a lot of little bits of dust and grit and who knows what else on these things. So I think next time I'll just paint the back first, since no one's going to see that, then flip it over on the front. That way when this is setting, you know, you don't have anything like resting on it or anything like that. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is, the reason I didn't do the tops today is just because like I forgot about them, and I still need to go through and kind of sand them, make them a little more smooth, and just make it look a little better. Like it's very boxy, and I don't quite like that look. Another issue that I ran into is one of the ammo boxes, like the back piece wouldn't fit directly onto the front piece, and so because there's little gaps right here, which unfortunately is making the top part really hard to come down on. So I think what I'll have to do is I'll have to trim this a little bit so it's more kind of like this one. Like you notice how like the cover is very thin right here. I might have to do the same with this. Just make it a little bit thin, that way it can pop over very easily, because like you want the lip right here to go over the this button right here, but unfortunately I can't really do that because the sides are just forcing themselves outward and it's not making the top go down very easily. So I'll probably just have to trim that, sand it, paint it, put it on top, and then I'll be using the little hinges and nails that came with the kit. I'm going to use the smaller ones for these boxes, which are going on the back, and then the I guess the medium-sized ones for these bigger ammo boxes. And then once I get these ones done, when I have them painted, you'll notice there are two little holes here, and these kits came with these little buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole, put this through, so it's poking like this, and then just kind of like either chop that part off or sand it, or like, you know, just get rid of it pretty much, so that way there's just the button right here. Just so you kind of have that, it looks like it's a button snap or so. I don't know if there was supposed to be something that's going in these holes right here or not. Like, I noticed that the cap does kind of fit there, so I don't know if there was supposed to be like a snap to or whatever, but I'm not going to bother with that, just because like with the hinges on, these things are probably going to either, if they're loose, they're going to be resting down flat anyway, or if the hinges are a little more rigidy, I guess, like they'll still hold themselves down flat. So I'm not going to worry too much about the bottom, but I guess if you wanted to, you could put like magnets on the inside of these and put them right there or something like that, you know, which I might have to do for this box right here anyway. It doesn't seem to want to close all the way, so I might have to put either some Velcro on the side or something, or maybe a magnet right there and there, just so it can hold into place. But anyway, so that's my progress with the further progress with the cod piece and the ammo boxes. So catch you on the next video.